Hey guys, what's going on? I just want to give you a little heads up before this video starts. This is a call I did with my mom in a small group. I've been getting a lot of good feedback, so I wanted to move this over to YouTube. So if you like this, please let us know, like, comment, subscribe, and anything that she talks about in the video, I'm going to put in the description below. All right, take it easy.
527, runway 8 kilo, you're cleared for takeoff.
Yesterday we covered a little bit of research, how you can find some books and then gather some keywords. And then today I'm trying to do the same thing, answer my mom's questions, and then possibly sow some more research. Did you have any questions from yesterday, Mo?
I didn't have any questions, but I think that way of trying to put the idea I had is not really the best way to do that.
What do you mean your idea?
I didn't really find any good landing zones. So I'm still probably having trouble with the landing zones. I kind of narrowed it down to what it was. You get the idea, pull the seed keyword, find the landing zone, which is a results page, or finding a results page that passes the 5-step test, which I did, went through that, then pull those keywords to do the listing. So I just still think I'm struggling with finding a good landing zone.
All right, so what letter did you start with?
C, I think. Oh, okay, I did B, and then I decided, I don't know exactly my steps, but then I went for initial journal B. So that would be, you're trying to find how customers are typing it in, right? And then it would autofill.
I mean, it depends if it'll autofill or not. But what I really want to do is, what are my competitors? What are the seed keywords that they're using? That's what I'm first looking for.
Okay, well, I did. Well, B doesn't come up really with anything with a journal.
See, like once you better understand your audience, you can make things like this. Like this is just a mindful journal. It had the same internals back to back. It's selling well, and it's selling at a much higher price than most of those other just lined journals. I would assume the 5 B's of me, as soon as you get to this, like these could be the same mindful journals. And what I'm doing is the same thing we did yesterday, is I'm trying to look for these B journals and see what people are typing in to make these show up and where they're showing up. And as we're opening these, hopefully you should be able to see some patterns because they're almost the same covers as some of the ones yesterday. Like this is a new cover, but this cover we saw before in a C. This is a new one. That's a new one. That's a new one. That's almost like the C one that we saw. That for sure, we saw that in the C style. So I'm assuming these are going to be very similar keywords. So did you look up for B monogram since that was such a heavy one yesterday?
Yeah, what I got, well, that was what I ended up on a landing zone that was under 1,000 was initial journal B typed in that way. And then another way was monogram B journal.
So how did you come up with those?
Just because I started with B journal and then I put the word monogram in front of B journal. Well, now it says monogram journal B.
Yeah, that's why I said like switching those letters around. If one of them autocomplete, it's just the keywords that you're looking for. Like customers are typing these keywords in.
Oh, so like not necessarily in that order, you mean?
They're probably typing it in that order, but
Oh.
Amazon is only showing it maybe one way or another, depending on the day or time or whatever. But you just want to know, are customers actually using these keywords, and they're using them by
Yes.
auto-completing.
That's what I found. So that's a landing zone.
Well, it has to
But
pass
then-
the other steps, but autocomplete, yes. Are there books? Yes. Is it less than 1,000? Yes. Now, the other thing we're looking at is the BSRs. And really, for you, you just want to see that they're selling. So just don't count the sponsored ads and then go on from that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Those are all selling.
Right. And 2 of them were under 1 million.
Yeah.
At least. So then, yes, that's a landing zone. That's okay. That's what I decided. I put LZ.
So yeah, this is where it gets
zone.
confusing for me, because you're saying like one thing, and then as we're going through it, you're saying something else. So did you find or did you not find? Because you said you didn't find. And now as we're going through this process, you're saying, oh, I did this. You found this.
I'm just confused. So then I found, okay, monogram journal. Then I did a different letter, S.
Well, let's stick with B for right
Okay,
now.
okay.
What are you confused on, so I can help you with that? Because you first said
Well-
you were confused on finding places to put the book. And now you're saying that you found places to put the book.
I
Now, you really started with saying the
did.
idea that you had is a bad idea, that you can't do it that way. And now you're saying that you can do it. So I'm just trying to like figure out what do you need help with?
I don't know. I'm still confused. So the first one.
So you just need clarification?
Yeah, I guess. So then monogram journal B. So use that as a landing zone.
Yes.
I collected the keywords.
So, and you collected the keywords by opening up these?
Yes, I opened them all up. Then
And
I
then
copied
copy the
them
title.
into your WingMan thing. I made the sheet. I got the top 10 words. I wrote those here. And then you make the journal. Then you go back and get the art, which I didn't further that because I feel like I don't understand the landing zone. But maybe I do. I just don't think I do or something.
All right, so let's go through the process, and then I'll show you from start to finish of what you're supposed to be doing.
Okay.
So we'll do very similar things of yesterday, but we'll just do it with B. And then we'll talk about the art also.
All right. Well, why don't you do a letter I didn't do? So it'll be like, so I won't be saying the same things again. And then it'll be like, is that all right?
Yeah, I don't.
Okay.
So what letter did you not do?
Say like N. Didn't get that far down.
To me, like all of these are going to be very similar.
Right.
So that's why I said like the letters almost don't matter, because you're going to be seeing like the same journals over and over, and you're going to get this very similar keywords over and over.
So that's why I said, oh, maybe I should just go on to another subject or something. Cause
Wasn't the goal to get 24 books up?
yeah.
So
and some of the books went up, but like I said, some of the letter journals went up. But then, like, when I typed in that landing zone, they weren't there. So I don't. Then I was like, oh, that must not be a good landing zone. I don't know.
It might take a while for the books to index, and they might be coming up somewhere else. So how long were the books up?
Not even just on that day. So you have to wait. Okay. So I didn't want to keep pursuing putting those books up.
What I said, do it for a month. Like, let it go for a month. Stick with an idea for a whole month.
Okay.
You're not going to learn if you go, oh, I had an idea today, I put up a book, I didn't see it in an instant, so I'm going to draw it to something else and then do the same exact thing and not see the book in an instant, and then keep on just jumping all over the place.
Okay.
That's not going to help you. So stick with an idea, this alphabet journal idea, just stick with it for a month.
Okay.
then go back and try to find that stuff. Then if a month you're going back and checking every day on certain journals and you can't find them, then the next question should be, where are they showing up? And then start like deducting from your own listing where that stuff is showing up.
All right, so then when you find that landing zone, technically, after you get the book up, say for 30 days, then if you typed in that same landing zone, your book should hopefully come up in that spot.
Yes, that's
Okay.
one, because you're targeting.
That's the goal.
Yeah, but if
Okay.
it doesn't, there are ways to try to look for your book.
Okay, which I don't know anything about all of that.
Yeah, that's why I said, so you
Okay.
can't like jump to the next step when you haven't even, did you
Okay.
make the 24 books?
I did, but some of them had problems. So, all right. So just go over that again then. So go the WingMan. Journal with the N. Okay. So you start N, then journal.
N journal. We opened up these. What we're looking for is additional keywords to help us find landing zones. So we're going to just be grabbing titles as we go along.
How to do that, so that was one step down.
And I'll spend more time here finding landing zones today.
All right, good. Okay, so what you're doing now is what I did, so at least I was doing that right.
Yeah, no one's saying you're doing anything wrong. I'm just trying to show you like what I'm doing, because now after I gather all the titles, what I'm looking for are additional landing zones. Like people might not be typing in N journal. That might be not the only thing that they're typing in. So we did monogram. I'm assuming monogram.
Yeah, that came up with a couple of different letters. So
yeah, so for like any book that has M or C or D or K or P that doesn't have flowers on it that you might be making, this might be a better landing zone. So put this in your back end for those books.
Okay, so monogram journals for men.
Mm-hmm. And that's a landing zone, but it's a landing zone for certain books, not all of the books.
Okay.
And I would even like go through and say, okay, what's the most common word here? Which doesn't really look like there is one.
So it would be a more like a darker color, or oh, that's the part.
I mean, there's flower ones here too, so. And it looks like almost all letters, but just the fact of like monogram journals for men, and then there was for kids.
Oh yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Maybe go for with the kids and put little like cuter pictures on it or whatever. So monogram journal for men is one landing zone.
And monogram journal for girls. And what I'm doing on this is I'm not taking any letters out to start. I'm just looking at all of these are the common used words. And then it's telling you here, N is probably the most popular. So if you're going to make a book or search for this, N might be a word that you want to be using. So letter N. And then we want to see what Amazon is going to auto-suggest for us when we do that. So letter, necklace, wall decor, keychain, wood, jewelry, necklace for girls. And then we can start typing in to see if journal comes up, and it doesn't. So then notebook, and just books, book ends. That's why I say you're looking for places that people might be searching for those books. But just because it auto-completed doesn't mean it's a great landing zone for you, because you're looking for books with N on the cover.
Okay, so I see that I did not do that step. What you just did, went to the next row and took the 2-letter words together.
We're trying to use any of these words to help us find landing zones.
Okay.
So this N college ruled, But we can go through all of this. Girls End is not really going to help us. Rose gold. I mean, we can try rose gold with the letter N in there.
So then I just type journal, or put N on it, or the letter on it.
Yeah, because we see that this is what's going to be searched more than likely if they want an N type journal. So now you're looking for other words to add to N to help you find journals. See, rose gold autocompletes. Now, I don't know about all this stuff, but
it's not journals, so okay.
So you can type in or start typing in journal or book. Oops. See, this didn't autocomplete. I mean, some of these are selling, but most of them are not selling. So this is what I'd say, like, it's probably not good to make a rose gold journal with N on it because there's probably not a lot of people looking for that.
Okay.
These are showing up somewhere that customers are going. Like this one is showing up somewhere where customers are going, but it's not this rose. They're not using the word rose gold.
Okay.
Or if they are, I can't figure out how they're using the word rose gold. So I would probably take this off. Like I'd probably do some more searching, really, truly, and just see like, take the word N off and just see like, are people even searching rose gold journal and what they're looking for? And is there a space in this rose gold journal that my book with an N might show up? I mean, A is showing up here. So is S. S, R.
So that's not a good spot, right?
Yeah, I mean, it might be. It's something that you would make note of and type in rose gold journal for women's might be another landing zone, or just keywords for you to be using.
So that would be on the keyword list.
Well, it's on the landing zone list because it is a landing zone.
Okay.
What you're doing is just trying to stack up landing zones. Because this might not be perfect for your N journal, but there are other letters because you're making so many other letter journals that you might want to put different letters here or try. What you're trying to find is like all the different places that you might want to put your journal.
Okay.
And because you're going to be making A, B, C, whatever, all the journals I say are essentially the same.
Right.
So you want to know all of the landing zones that these types of books are showing up on.
Okay.
Because there's going to be one that's like a gap that's not very competitive and there's traffic going to it. That's where you want to put your book. So
right.
Monogram and journal is probably a very popular way that people are searching, but there's a ton of competition. So your book's probably not going to show up there. But something like this, where it's rose gold journal for women, your book might show up here and you'll have a much higher chance of getting a sale, even though there's less traffic coming here.
Okay.
So that's why I said you're just trying to find a ton of landing zones. And the only reason you know that they might be a landing zone is, again, are they books? Are they less than 1,000? Are there some sales? And do books with letters on the front come up? There's not a ton of them, but there is a few.
Okay.
So that's what I'm looking for. So more than just N, I'm looking for anywhere that letters show up using the words that I found from looking for N. Okay. Now, I'm going to start with N because that's what I want to look for. And if I'm making an N journal, it's more than likely that I probably won't put rose gold in that particular journal.
Okay.
But I might, because you might just make keywords for all of those journals and make them rose gold journals and do all of them. And then do another set of 24 focused at men and then have all of those landing zones and keywords in there.
Okay.
So then you're making 24
Make
here,
a different
24 here.
Style for men. Okay.
But you're trying to understand these customers. Customers that are looking for letters on the front. Who are they? What are they typing in? Well, one of the people are searching for rose gold. That's one style that they're looking for. Flowers is another one because we saw floral. But you're just trying to use these keywords to find landing zones.
Okay.
So just try to find as many landing zones as you can. And that's what we've gotten good at. So I know that this is probably going to take you time to do this, but don't rush to just make a book to make a book.
Okay.
You understand the process of how to make a book. You obviously can make the books. Now let's make better books, or at least better targeted books.
Okay.
So what we're trying to do is just find landing zones, places where you want your books to show up.
Okay.
Using the words, so notebook, we tried rose gold, monogram, letter. And again, I'm
So
going to
you're
start
just going
with
N and then the next down that second row.
Yeah, but it doesn't even have to be the second row. I'm just any of these words. So all of these are unique words. So I want to put N against like all of these words. So we can do it N and notebook and monogram and journal and letter and initials and girl and women. But I just know like if you type in N women, it's going to be, or girl, it's going to be all that other stuff where it's like shoes, necklace, bags. These are your customers that are typing in N and then looking for something.
Okay.
So if you're a girl and you're going to be buying something with an N on it, Amazon is telling me these are the types of things that they're going to be buying.
Okay.
I want to know, are they going to be finding books also, or journals with N on the cover, anything with N on the cover that I could possibly make.
Okay.
So quilted backpacks, shoes, necklace, bags, and I'm not going to say that, but, and then I'll hit space, and then I'll be looking for journals or notebook or just book in general, book bags. But even if I type in N girl book, I just want to see. That's not auto-completing, but from my curiosity, I want to know, hey, if a customer were to search for a girl searching for N, would she be typing in book? It doesn't really look like it, but even if she does, what's going to come up? It's not the N style journal. So I would like not continue to go on this path.
Good.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. That's kind of what I feel like I was finding, that it wasn't coming up to journals.
Yeah, so N girl is not maybe your customer. So you're looking for like women. Again, like books aren't really coming up. Even though we typed in book, it's still not coming up. And even by putting in N book, there's probably like another letter that's in there, like monogram or letter or something. So what other keywords do we have that we could add in there? Monogram, letter, plain floral, initial, notebook, journal, cute, initial. We'll try initial. So this I don't think auto-completed.
No, it's
Book
a book bag. So
and this again is less. These are selling. This has N on it. Most of them have N on it.
So then that way reversed was journal with initial N. So that's what people are typing in, and it's under 1,000. So that would be a landing zone if it passed if it has selling,
which we just saw.
Yeah, and then at least 2 under 1 million.
Again, I would ditch the 2 under 1 million for right now, just because you're just trying to find places to put your book. I'm trying to get you a win. Like I'm trying to show you, oh, if you put a book here and target it at this, your book might actually show up. So just, are there sales in the top 10? And the answer is yes. So let's try to get our book there. We like to see under 2 million because we wanted our book to sell more than twice a month. But for you, like getting a book up that you can find it, I think is going to be a better help. And like I said, we could do this for a long time, but I'm trying to find books with N on the cover or just any other letter on the cover. So because we found it with N, I'm going to take end off, and just see what Amazon auto suggests. So they have other letters here, and they also have it with the plurals. But if I just hit enter with journals with initials, it has 1,000. There's probably more than 1,000, but I would still like use this in most of whatever journals that you're going to be making, because then you're going to have another letter after this.
Okay.
So it won't just be end, it'll be all these other ones. And then you can see like this is a landing zone. This is where you'd want your book to show up, because all the other books here have a letter on the cover.
So then, okay. Yeah, because initial journal.
Journals with
well,
initial.
with, okay, mine, I said initial journal B, and then I found spots, but so just write down journal with initial, and then it'll, yeah, come up. Okay.
See, that's one landing zone with an N, and then another one was without the N. And then you can see here's other ones with an S, with a D, with a J, with an A, with an A.
Is the landing zone phrase?
Go in your title. I know what you're going to ask me. Don't worry about that yet.
Okay.
We're just trying to find landing zones. We want our books to show up here. How we get them to show up here is something that you're going to have to test.
Okay.
But I would make sure you're writing all of these down.
Okay. So then go to those, each one of those, and then collect the keywords from those.
You're not even writing it down right.
Initial, journal.
Journal with initial.
Oh, I thought you said initial journal for women.
Oh, yeah. Initial journal for women is what auto-completed. Then we go to E, and then you can say E is on there, which is not on this list, but because journal of how Amazon, yeah.
So, but that says journal with.
Yeah, that's why I said it's just another way. People that are probably searching for E just search it this way, so it's different than that how these people are searching. And maybe this is, I'm not doing a good job at this because a lot of other people have a problem with finding landing zones, and I guess it's because it's like this is baked in. Like when I'm finding those seed keywords, I'm constantly bombarding Amazon with different attacks essentially to help me find a ton of landing zones, and that's how I train our VAs. And I guess we shouldn't be writing it down without actually going there, but I'm assuming that they're the same books that are going to come up, and it's the same BSRs. So maybe I shouldn't just assume, but show you actually how it's a landing zone. I've just been doing this for a while, so I kind of know that the same books that we're looking at are the same books that are going to be coming up. And that's why I said, like, if you can get a book in one of these gaps and people start buying it, then your book will be all over the place.
Okay.
And then your book, along with all the other books in that same line, as long as it has the same pen name or whoever to link them all together, then they'll all show up.
So for whatever these, like
we didn't technically finish these, but okay. I'm assuming that. Yeah. But this one we just did. This one is this one that we're looking at.
And no E's came up.
Journal initial E. Yeah. And then I saw, okay, it says over 1,000, but so it's still good.
Oh, well then I would say that wasn't good, but. And then there's all different letters.
It's just another place to check when your book is done. These are all the landing zones that you're going to be checking.
Oh, okay.
Because you're going to have these keywords, like journal, initial, and E is going to be in your backend and or title.
Right.
So when you search the one landing zone and it doesn't show up, then these are additional landing zones that you can check.
Oh, okay.
And then even if you get your book up, I can show you, hey, where else is this product showing up?
Okay. Well, that's off the subject, but I did have the original one I did at the beginning for teens. That went live, and it came up, and there was 11 pages on that landing zone, and mine was on 9. So at least I could find it. Which the initial ones I could never find them. So, and then this one too. Then I wrote it a different way: teen Christian journaling devotion, and I made a different picture. a different cover, and then that went live, and it was on 16 out of 20. So
because you can find those, I would go back and check them like at least twice a week and see if they're changing positions. Are they moving up? Are they moving down? What's going on with those? Because if it's moving down, it's probably not a place that you would want to continue to put journals. But if it's moving up, then I'd say, okay, there's probably some more space in here. I can probably make some more journals
okay,
here.
well that's why I wrote it down. So because I'm not gonna remember. I'm not like you.
Yeah, but that's why I said like this is you're gonna have to change up how you're doing that because all the information that you're gonna be getting, you're not gonna be able to write it down in a journal.
Okay.
But that's why I said that's a later thing. But what you need to start doing is finding landing zones is what you need to start doing.
That's what I'm gonna work on then.
But you're using these keywords like with an N and without an N. So notebook, monogram, journal. Like you could almost take notebook, journal, which I don't know who was typing it in like that, but and then monogram. Monogram, journal, notebook. This is a possible another landing zone. So yeah, so then you're gonna want to like put a space and see if you can put any letters or anything on the back of this. Which there should be stuff coming up, but Amazon is being finicky.
So that's kind of what was happening to me was nothing was auto completing. So I was like, oh, so this is probably not a good idea.
This auto completes. Now it's not a landing zone because there is too many results, but if you're not finding anything that's auto completing, then you just need to be doing additional searches or using other words. This monogram journal notebook is probably an odd way for people to do searching. But you can see monogram journal, and then here is a whole bunch of more letters.
Okay.
So C had less than 1,000. I don't remember what letter I just had in there. E maybe. So E is like way more. But you can see J. So J, monogram journal J. And you can see that there are mostly J's on here. But this would be a landing zone now. Monogram journal J, but not E, because E does have 2,000. But you can start seeing all the things that start auto-completing. Leather, obviously, we can't do. But then you can just start putting in letters behind it. Q, monogram journal. Monogram journals for women. Monogram journal, letter A for women. I don't know why not all A's are showing up, but the fact that they're lettered journals here. And this might be like, because there's monogram journal A, letter A for women autocompletes, and there's less than 1,000, and the fact that there's not a lot of A's here, this is what I would try to maybe put as a subtitle or this exact saying in my backend keywords. And this could be a book that you try today is like, okay, this is a landing zone that we're going to try to come up on, because the only reason I'm saying this is because this has the letter A in it. And as I look at the page, there's not a lot of A's here. So maybe customers are coming here wanting the A, and they're only really seeing this one because it's a sponsored ad. And maybe you could get your book to show up here that has an A on it, and the customers coming here will see your book and buy your book more than they'll buy the K, because what they're really looking for is this letter A.
Okay. So do you want me to try to get that?
Yeah, try to make a journal with an A on the cover, or even a journal cover that you already have, and either try to put this as your subtitle or just put this in your back-end keywords as like one of those boxes. Put this as one of the boxes, and then the other 6 boxes, put other keywords in there. Okay. The monogram, all those other keywords. But to go back to just searching for landing zones, I remember running out of time, but just like medium line journal. And what we're pulling from is how the competitors are using it. So these are competitors' titles. What we're going back to Amazon for is we're asking Amazon, is this how customers are searching? Because when we
Okay.
come in here, we don't know anything. So we're pulling from our competitors, and then we're validating what our competitors are using against what customers are actually typing in using Amazon search bar.
Okay.
So that's why we constantly want to see are things auto-completing. So you can see this medium line journal. People are searching this way, but are people searching this way looking for a letter on the cover? So I'll type in A or I'll type in N, and that doesn't really autocomplete. But then even if I just search this, because this autocompletes, are people looking for that are typing this in looking for a letter on the front? And then I would say probably not. So this isn't a place that I would necessarily target, but that's why I say once you find the target and then pull keywords from that landing zone and this shows up, those might be back-end keywords that I use. Because maybe the customers are typing in monogram, medium, and line journal, and they'll type all that in.
Okay.
I wasn't able to find it, but I still want my book to show up for that because I want all those keywords in my listing.
Okay.
So that's why I say like do this separate. These are keywords to help you find landing zones.
Okay.
They might be the same exact keywords that you use in your listing, but find the landing zone first, then pull keywords from that landing zone and use for targeting that landing zone.
Okay. I think I didn't get to that. I misunderstood that second step or whatever. So thank you. That cleared it up.
For your homework for tomorrow is just find landing zones.
Okay.
Landing zones are things that autocomplete, yes, less than 1,000, but even if you see 1,000 up here, it's fine. Because I want you to find more, and I don't want you to have too strict of a rule set that you're not finding them.
Okay.
Don't pull additional keywords like however that one was that you said, oh, I found all these other keywords. Not yet. Just find the landing zones. Just get a stack of landing zones. So if you're now having more problems with landing zones tomorrow, then we'll just come up with another way for you to find landing zones.
All right.
All right, guys. Thanks for sticking with us. Just checking to make sure that Danielle didn't message me. Nope, we're good. So I'll message him in a second.
Okay.
Love you, Ma.
I love you too. Thank you
All
for
right.
the information.